Okay, welcome to Truth with C, Part 2. We've covered the conceptual truth operations, and now we're going to look at how we actually use them, how we use the logical operators in C. Okay, these operators, the logical operators, are what we use to check conditions. You'll usually find them in if statements, for loops, and while statements. All right, or you can also use it with ternary operators. And again, these logical operators are the same as you'll find in almost all languages. So let's take a closer look. So let's go back to our basic operations. Now, in C, we express these logical operations with double. We express the and or with double symbols. So we have double ampersand means a logical and. Double pipes mean a logical or. We actually do not have logical XOR operators in C. However, we do have a not, and the logical not is the exclamation mark in C. Okay, so now when we wrote true and false before, we would write it true and false, and that would equal false. Okay, now here's the thing. In C, we do not have a Boolean type. Now you can include stdbool.h and you can get a bool type, but really it just maps to an integer. So C does something that many other languages do as well, where they treat non-zero values as true and zero values as false. So the number 3 is a non-zero value. If we AND this with a 0, we're saying true, because it's non-zero, and false, that equals false. Now, in the result of these logical operators are either going to be a 0 if it's false, or a 1, an integer 0 or an integer 1. So this is going to be the integer 0, because true and false is false. Now if we have 1 and 4, that's true and true, so that will equal true, right? So that will give us a 1, because again, in C, 1 is true. So when we do the evaluation, any non-zero value is true. Any 0 value is false. The result of these operations are either going to be the integer 1 or the integer 0. 1 being true, 0 being false. So if we apply that to OR now, right? So again, if we have 3 or 0, well, this is true or false. That is going to be true, right? 1 or 4, that again is also going to be true, right? One or the other, you have both, so it's good, right? And of course, if we have 0 or 0, that is going to be false, which is going to be 0. All right? Now for not, if we have the number 3, and we say not 3, what we're actually saying is not true. Well, if it's not true, what is it? It's false, which is 0. And if we say not 0, and we look at the result of not 0, that's not false. If it's not false, it's true, which is 1. Okay? Sometimes you'll see something like this. This not x, right? Now what does this do? Well, not x is either going to yield a 0 if x is 0, or it's going to yield a 1 if x is not 0. Okay? So this is a way to just test if x is a 0 or not.